Good morning, dear sangha. I'm listening to that little bird preaching a sermon of the Buddha. Seeing these clouds transform above me. I feel my body planted firmly on the earth. I can smell and taste the happy morning air. And various thoughts are floating through my mind like these clouds. This is called guarding the sense doors. Various streams of data enter into awareness. In Buddhist psychology, they're called vijnanas. There's something comforting about sitting with these rocks. These big rocks. I'm just as old as they are, but they're solid. These rocks transform a little less quickly. This is a special opportunity. It's not usually so quiet. When we speak about a date of birth or time of death, these are really just notions. To say we have a lifespan is also just a notion. Like I was saying, I'm just as... And these flowers, we're all stardust together. These labels and signs are conventional designations that are useful at the level of relative truth, but they're not the ultimate truth. These relative and ultimate truth, these are the two truths spoken of by many different Buddhist teachers over a long time and a lot of space. Thich Nhat Hanh brings them up for us frequently as well. We have the conventional layer, the conventional dimension, where dualism takes place. But ultimately, things are not what they seem. Ultimately, things are beyond thoughts or notions, words and stories. On the conventional dimension, we speak of lifespans, speak of beginning and ending, of size, duration. But these are not reality. If we're afraid of or angry or sad about death, it's because we're still caught up in our incorrect notions of birth and death. We think death means that from something we will become nothing. But if we see all the ways in which we exist beyond our body, constantly changing forms, we realize nothing is lost. And we no longer feel so angry or afraid. When a cloud becomes rain, we may be tempted to say that the cloud has died. But we know the cloud's true nature. H2O hasn't died at all. It has become rain. If we want to see the true nature of the cloud, we have to free ourselves from the sign, cloud. And even further, we can keep going beyond the sign H2O. We realize H2O is just one configuration of whatever that subatomic stuff is. And it keeps going. Whatever creates that subatomic is also composed of not-self elements. Ultimately, it's empty. That's that shunyata. The dying of a cloud is at the same time the birthing of the rain. If the cloud did not die, how could the rain be born? But the cloud need not wait until that moment in order to see the birth of the rain, because like us, the cloud is dying in every moment. Let's say you heat water in a kettle. As the water heats, some steam already begins to form. There's a more rapid transformation as the temperature rises to 100 degrees Celsius, and more water transforms into vapor. Evaporation is at once the death of water and the birth of vapor, which will later become a cloud. The same is true for us. Sometimes there is slow transformation, and sometimes there is more abrupt transformation. We don't need to wait until the water of our own life is nearing 100 degrees Celsius to see this. By then, it may be too late. We don't need to wait until the moment of our death. We should take the time now, while we're still alive, to understand living and dying, in order to free ourselves from anxiety, fear, and sorrow. Whether we're dying quickly or slowly, it's all the same. With this insight, the quality of our life becomes richer, and we appreciate every moment. One day lived deeply with this insight may be worth more than 1,000 days without it. Just listening to this sermon of the Buddha, listening to the sermon of the Buddha and breathing in. Listening to the sermon of the Buddha and breathing out. In. Out. And in. And out. When we look at an oak tree, it may be difficult to imagine that it grew out of an acorn. Is that acorn still alive? If it is, then why can't we see it? Or does the acorn no longer exist? If it died, then how come there is an oak tree now? The teachings on signlessness help us break free from our own tendency to put things into boxes. We usually try to fit life into one of 4 categories. Is it alive? Is it dead? Is it still in the realm of being? In other words, does it still exist? Or has it passed into the realm of non-being? Does it no longer exist? The truth is that we can't fit reality into the categories of existing and not existing. Once we've touched the ultimate truth, we see that the categories of alive and dead don't apply. Whether it's to a cloud, an acorn, an electron, a star, ourselves, or our beloved ones. Just as we need to liberate ourselves from the idea of a self, or a human being that's different from other living beings, we also need to liberate ourselves from the sign and appearance of a lifespan. Your life is not limited to 70, 80, or 100 years. And that is good news. Your body is not yourself. You are much more than this body. You are life without boundaries. By now you may already begin to see that we are not limited to our physical body. Even while we are alive, we inter-are with our ancestors and our descendants and the whole cosmos. We don't have a separate self. We are never really born, and we never really die. We are interconnected with all life. And we are always in transformation. Buddhist traditions have developed many ways to visualize our life without boundaries. And one of those ways is to see that, as well as our human body, we have many other bodies. Some traditions say we have 3. Others say 5 or 7. Looking deeply, understanding the nature of emptiness and signlessness, and the insight of interbeing, we can identify at least 8 different bodies. When we are able to recognize and experience all our bodies, we live our life more fully and face the disintegration of our physical body without fear. The word body here simply means a collection of energy. In Sanskrit or Pali, it would be kaya. Modern science tells us that everything we perceive is energy. Some kinds of energy we can see or detect with our senses, and some we can detect only with specialized instruments. There may also be types of energy we have not yet learned how to measure. But even so, we may be able to feel and perceive them. We have a close relationship with all our 8 bodies. We can take care of them and they will be there, strong and healthy, for us when we need them. And they will encompass the qualities we would like to continue after we pass away. One of my students said, if I have 8 bodies, then I'm going to have to shower 8 times. 1 time for each body. But when we see the interconnection between all the 8 bodies, we see that we need to shower mindfully only once. And we can save a lot of water. It's wonderful to have so many bodies. But don't take my word for it. Investigate and see for yourself. Just investigate and see for yourself. That is a phrase that comes up a lot in Buddhism. In Pali, it's ehipassiko. Come see. The Buddha's teaching is inviting of inspection. We don't have to accept it on faith alone. We don't simply accept it because it's traditional. We accept a thing because we have gone to see and understand for ourselves. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. In. Out. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. And breathing out, I feel fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Flower. Fresh. Flower. Fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel stable. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid. Mountain. Solid. Mountain. Solid. Breathing in, I see myself as open space. Breathing out, I see great potential. Breathing in, I see myself as space. Breathing out, I feel open. Space. Open. Space. Open. Space. Open. Breathing in, I see myself as light. Breathing out, I feel creative. Breathing in, I see myself as light. And breathing out, I feel bright. Light. Bright. Light. Bright. Light. Bright. Breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. In. Out. In. Out. That's a baby crow. this present moment. It's a wonderful moment. The mosquitoes are eating me alive today. Good morning. Now I'm just breathing in and out, marveling at the moment. I did some reading earlier. I'll share the video when I'm done sitting and enjoying the moment. You can go back and watch again if you'd like. I was reading from The Art of Living. It's a good book. Now I'm just guarding the sense doors, which is really just standing at the center of this hub, with all these different data streams: eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, mind. And when things come to attention, we just note them. We say, oh, I hear a sound. The sound is gone. Ooh, I think a thought. Oh, the thought has transformed. It's gone. I feel a sensation. Ooh, it's already changed. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna move along now. I'll be around though. If you want to talk about Buddhism or meditation, I'm always happy to discuss. Thank you for joining me. I'll talk to you later.